Hi everybody, welcome to Trivia Ronin. My name is Matt McNally and I will be your host today. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch or after the fact on YouTube, welcome and we are happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. 1, we are honor code here and you keep your own score. Feel free to cheat because you get nothing. 2, after each question you'll get 45 seconds to answer. Absolutely do not show your answer until the time is up. Don't be that person. Tonight, there are going to be 30 questions worth 1 point each and a story question at the end worth 10 points for a total of 40. Maybe some bonus opportunities sprinkled in. We'll see how I feel. Let's play Trivia Ronin, everybody. Question 1. Despite what every tourist back from the Gulf leads you to believe, that would be the Gulf of Mexico, these gift shop favorites are actually brown or even purple when alive. 45 seconds on the clock starting now. Here we go. Despite what every tourist back from the Gulf Coast, we could put that in there too, leads you to believe these gift shop favorites are actually brown or even purple when alive. 30 seconds right on the dot. What are we talking about here? Despite what every tourist back from the Gulf leads you to believe, these gift shop favorites are actually brown or even purple when alive? Gasp, clutch your pearls, everybody. Oh, the answer's not pearls. What are these? Despite what every tourist back from the Gulf leads you to believe, these gift shop favorites are actually brown or even purple when alive. 5 seconds left. Everybody's 1 for 1, we hope. The answer is sand dollar. We were looking for sand dollars, not sand pounds. This is America. Question 2. Kiss Me Kate, Deliver Us from Eva, and 10 Things I Hate About You are all based on what Shakespeare play? 45 seconds on the clock, starting meow. What Shakespeare play are we talking about here? Kiss Me Kate, Deliver Us from Eva, and 10 Things I Hate About You are all based on what Shakespeare play? 32 seconds left. You remember this play. Certainly remember Heath Ledger, R.I.P. He's in one of those. Other people are in other ones. I just want to bring him up. 16 seconds on the clock. Just to make everybody sad. What Shakespeare play are we talking about? What are these all based on? Which Shakespeare show, play? It's not Timon of Athens. I know you all guessed it. The answer, Taming of the Shrew. Taming of the Shrew. Problematic play? Sure is. Give it a read. Question number 3. In fashion, what does the term prêt-à-porter mean? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. In fashion, what does pret-a-porter mean? Pret-a-porter, not the correct pronunciation. Prêt-à-porter is much closer and more fun to say. In fashion, what does the term prêt-à-porter mean? It's a term, I promise. Didn't just make it up. What's that mean? Where my fashionistas at? Everybody's staying at home wearing ball gowns. Y'all look great, I'm sure. What does pret-a-porter mean? 6 seconds left on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pret-a-manger means ready to eat, but pret-à-porter means ready to wear en français. Ready to wear, or off the rack, heaven forbid. Question 4, keeping it moving. Because its pronunciation sounds similar to the word for death, the number 4 is considered unlucky in what country? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Because its pronunciation in the language of this country sounds similar to the word for death in this country, the number 4 is considered unlucky in what country? 30 seconds left on the clock. Where's the number 4 unlucky? Unlucky number 4. What do we think? What do we know? 13 does not sound like death in English, and yet still unlucky. Go figure. But where is the number 4, the unluckiest number? 4 is the unluckiest number that you'll ever see. Anybody get it? You're right. China. or Gina. We'll accept either pronunciation if the president happens to be joining us tonight. Also, if you're here, fuck you. Question 5. Traditionally, what are the greens on a caprese salad? 45 seconds on the clock starting. Meow. What are the greens on a caprese salad? It's a salad, so it's got to have greens. It seems like it's healthy for you. I'm not even really sure. But it's one of those. It's one of those pretend healthy salads. Not really, like, it's not like a southwestern chicken salad, let's be honest. Traditionally, what are the greens on a caprese salad? Traditionally. Any of my Brooklyn chefs joining us? Don't get fancy with me. Don't start over deconstructing this question. Nailed it. What are the greens on a caprese salad? 3, 2, tomato, mozzarella, and the green part, basil. Or basil, if you want to pronounce it wrong. Shots at England. Question 6. A company known for its atlases and maps was born when William Rand went into business with Andrew... Who? 45 seconds on the clock. Rand and somebody making atlases. A company known for its atlases and maps was born when William Rand went into business with Andrew... Who? What's his last name? 30 seconds. A company known for its atlases and maps at some point. I mean, probably the atlas and map business isn't doing so great right now, but who's to say, really? William Rand went into business with Andrew Who. 10 seconds left on the clock. You got stock in atlases. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. 5, 4, 3, 2. We love him. He's my cousin, Andrew McNally. Andrew McNally. My name is McNally. I don't spell it like that, but every single person thinks I spell it like that. Question 7. Patagonian toothfish, when served in restaurants, go by what more menu-friendly name? 45 seconds on the clock. Starting now. Patagonian toothfish. Ye old Patagonian toothfish, when served in restaurants, go by what more menu-friendly name? Sounds a little better. It's all marketing, children. 30 seconds left on the clock. Patagonian toothfish, when served in restaurants, go by what menu-friendly name? What do we call them? Patagonian toothfish. Save me the teeth part. It's my favorite. 10 seconds on the clock. Patagonian toothfish. What are they called in restaurants to make it more palatable? 2, 1. Patagonia is at the southern tip of South America. You know what else is? Chile. Chilean sea bass is what we're looking for. There are no bass in the sea unless you name them that. Patagonian toothfish, Chilean sea bass. Question 8. On the show House MD, the titular doctor lives in apartment 221B. A nod to what famous literary character? 45 seconds starting now. On the show House MD, the titular doctor. If you don't know what titular means, you're probably giggling about it right now. But it does mean Dr. House is who we're talking about. Dr. House lives in 221B, and that's a nod to what famous literary character? Who else lived in apartment 221B? 20 seconds left on the clock. House MD. Yes, doctor. Where do you live? 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't have anything funny to say. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is the answer. I was going to say it's not lupus. If you watched House, that's your House joke. That's for the 3 people who watched it. Question 9. In the email abbreviation BCC, what does B stand for? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. You've seen this button every day of your life since 1994. What does B stand for in BCC? It's right there in front of you on Gmail. What does BCC. What does the B stand for? We can name all of them if you want. What all three of them stand for. Maybe 1 extra point? Yeah, I'm feeling good. Extra point if you name all three. What does B stand for in BCC? 8 seconds left on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Show them to yourselves. It is blind. Blind carbon copy, if you wanted all three there. Comes from typewriter days. That'll probably be a story later on. Next up, question 10. A metaphor for a tough situation, the British phrase sticky wicket comes from playing what game on a wet field? 45 seconds on the clock, going now. We are going. A metaphor for a tough situation, the British phrase sticky wicket comes from playing what game on a wet field? 30 seconds left. A metaphor for a tough situation. The English phrase sticky wicket comes from playing what game on what field? That's just in case we have any English listening who want to be offended by a bad accent. 10 seconds left. Metaphor for a tough situation. Sticky wicket comes from playing what game on a wet field? 2, 1. Wicket rhymes with the answer cricket. Cricket's got wickets. It's like baseball, but you throw the ball at some big sticks. End of round 1. Tally up your results. Think about things. Be happy about it. I'm assuming we're all 10 for 10. We're going to keep it moving, though. So let's go to question 11 for your 11th point. Question 11/1 of round 2. A nod to its famous horse race. What U.S. state uses the slogan "Unbridled Spirit" to market itself to visitors? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Unbridled Spirit. Sounds fun. Seems right for this state. A bridle is something you put on a horse. Get it? 30 seconds left on the clock. A nod to its famous horse race. What U.S. state uses the slogan "Unbridled Spirit" to market itself to visitors? That's a good slogan. Unbridled Spirit. 13 seconds left. 10, 9, 8. The numbers go down from there. What U.S. state uses the slogan "Unbridled Spirit"? Great question, Matt. Thank you so much. The answer is home of the worst senator, Kentucky. 2 points if you can name that terrible senator, Mitch McConnell. Didn't need to say his name. Many other names worth saying. Question 2. Ranch dressing got its start at an actual dude ranch in California. Named what? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. It's a real ranch. Where ranch is from? How fun. Ranch dressing got its start at an actual dude ranch in California named what? 30 seconds on the clock. What's the name of that ranch? Might still be there. I didn't look it up, but it might. I think it is. I'm going to go with that. Or you could Google it and prove me wrong. Don't Google it. That's cheating. But, you know, minus 1,000 points if you Google this one. Ranch dressing got it started at an actual dude ranch in California named what? 5, 4, 3, 2. If it was Arrested Development, it would be called Sudden Valley, but the answer to this one is Hidden Valley. The Hidden Valley Ranch is where that's from. Question 3, keep it moving. Guns, Golden Rules is a life lessons book by a TV personality from what reality show? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Guns, Golden Rules. This question's easier when you can read it. Guns, Golden Rules is a life lessons book by a TV personality from what reality show? Fun fact, this is the first book I read when I moved to New York City because it was in my apartment when I moved in. I learned a lot of things that I should have done that I didn't, but it is a really good book. I will endorse that. Guns, Golden Rules is a life lessons book by a TV personality from what reality show? 5, 4, 3, 2, designers, make it work. It's Tim Gunn, and it is Project Runway. You got it. Yeah, it's a pretty good gun, right? Could have done better. I'll rehearse it. Question 4. By tradition, Navy SEAL candidates who give up during training do what to announce they are quitting? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. What do they do? SEAL candidates who give up during training do what to announce they are giving up? I'm sure they do several things, but traditionally they do one. Probably have to fill out some paperwork. I imagine get your last paycheck, stuff like that. But what do they do to announce to everybody that they're quitting? That's too much of a hint already. SEAL candidates who give up during training do what to announce they're quitting? 10 seconds left. I only know this because of a movie. 2, 1, that movie being G.I. Jane. That answer being exactly Ring a Bell. The answer is Ring a Bell. There's one specific bell. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure there is. Question 5. What band named themselves after the sidekick of Radioactive Man on The Simpsons? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. Simple, easy layup of the question. If you are old like me, what band named themselves after the sidekick of Radioactive Man on The Simpsons? So you could know the band. 2 points if you name the band and the sidekick. Just kidding. It's the same thing. What do we got? 20 seconds left. What band named themselves after the sidekick of Radioactive Man on The Simpsons? Simpsons is a television show on Fox. Been around for about 30 years. If you don't know that, this will be a tougher question. 3, 2, 1. The answer is Fall Out Boy. Radioactive Man, Fall Out Boy. It all makes sense. It's very funny on The Simpsons. It's very emo in the band. Question 6. In the 50s, the company Malico, ? Debuted a line of soft gummy candies shaped like what animal? 45 seconds on the clock. I'll pronounce it all the different ways I'm thinking of it as I reread the question. 40 seconds on the clock. In the 50s. There's a line of soft gummy candies invented in the 50s. They're shaped like what animal? 30 seconds left on the clock. I'll say one pronunciation. The 50s, the company Malaco debuted a line of soft gummy candies shaped like what animal? Let's do it again. In the 50s, the company Malico debuted a line of soft gummy candies shaped like what animal? In the 50s, the company Malico. That's all I got. What animal was it, though? 6 seconds left. There's 2 guesses for this one, I would say. Hope you got the right one. No time left. The right one was not bear, it was fish. Swedish fish. Boom. Question 7. In their logo, the department store Macy's replaces their apostrophe with what symbol? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. You'll see there's an apostrophe. Macy's is possessive. What do they turn that into? In their logo. 35 seconds on the clock. In their logo, the department store Macy's replaces their apostrophe with what symbol? I like that I made it that they own the apostrophe as well in the phrasing of this question. It seems apropos. 20 seconds left. Macy's was a department store in the before times. I think it still exists, but why? Like Morris would say on Parks and Rec, you can just get it on the internet. 7 seconds left. Place their apostrophe with what symbol? 2, 1. You had it because you've been here. It's a star. Red star. Red star. You got it. Question 8. We are flying, guys. Question 8. Dwight Eisenhower renamed what presidential retreat after his grandson? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Dwight David Eisenhower. I'm going to say David. Dwight Dimitri Eisenhower renamed what presidential retreat after his grandson? 30 seconds on the clock. You got this, guys. Want to know why I know? Because it's the thing you're thinking of. That's how I know. But why is it named what it is today? Because of good old Dwight Eisenhower. Yeah, boy. Dwight D. Eisenhower. 10 seconds left on the clock. What's that presidential treat? And I'll give you a hint. It's the one. That is the one. 2, 1. Show them, everybody. You had it. I had it. Your grandma had it. It was Camp David. David is... I also said David in the phrasing of the question. So if you didn't get it, rough day for you. Question 9. Emirates Airlines, the largest carrier in the Middle East, is headquartered in what city? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. The largest air carrier in the Middle East. Headquartered in what city? Emirates. I know how that one's pronounced. For once. Get this hat straight. Not Emiratis. Emirates Airlines, the largest carrier in the Middle East, is headquartered in what city? Can't recommend flying this carrier enough. One of the best in the world. But like, why are you flying? I don't think we're even allowed to. So that's gonna date this quiz. Emirates Airlines, the largest carrier in the Middle East, is headquartered in what city? 5-second clue. It's in the Middle East. 2, 1. You got it because you knew Emirates was part of the United Arab Emirates, or UAE, largest city in that particular collection of Emirates, Dubai. Dubai. Another one where the answer was in the question. Next, well, not really, but sort of. Next, question 10. First used to describe certain jazz fans in the 40s, what term reemerged in the 2000s to describe irony-loving young people? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Okay, Boomer, you get this one? There's no boomers watching. This is on Twitch. It's on YouTube. There's still no boomers watching. 35 seconds. First used to describe certain jazz fans, unless my mom's here. Hi, Mom. What term reemerged in the 2000s to describe irony-loving young people? 26 seconds on the clock. Is it that thing? Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, guy, probably. 14, 13. Yada, yada, yada. What is it? First used to describe jazz fans in the 40s. What term reemerged in the 2000s to describe irony-loving young people? Let me twirl up the ends of my mustache here for this answer. Hipster. Hipsters is what we're looking for. Hipsters. All right, guys. That's 2 rounds right there. Hope we're doing well. Hope our scores are great. 20 out of 20 is acceptable. 25 out of 20 is even better. If you have that, good job. Now we go into what's called Wayla. What are you looking at? We're going to do 10 pictures. I'm going to ask you questions. You tell me the answer. If you don't know how this works, you're about to find out. Away we go. And you're really going to enjoy this. Question 1 is this. What kind of fruit is this? What are you looking at? 45 seconds on the clock. What kind of fruit is this? And also, I did not die in between the rounds. I'm just merely translucent, which I'm kind of excited about. So, can you see my hand back here? No, that's not how green screens work. 30 seconds on the clock. What fruit is this? My lord, what fruit is this? Looks really good. Maybe the best photo I've seen of this fruit. Tastes pretty good too, just kind of a pain to eat. 16 seconds left. What fruit is this? I know, right? Great color on there. I just picked it because the picture's pretty. 5, 4, 3, 2. It's real spiky and looks crazy. It's Dragonfruit. That's what a Dragonfruit looks like. Oh man, now you know. Next up. 45 seconds on the clock. What is the team logo that we're looking at? I took too long to say that. I need the city and I need the team. 45 seconds on the clock. It's a football team. I'll give you that. Let me get my hat out of the way. There we are. There we are. This is a logo for a football team. What's the city and nickname for the team? Or name? It's not the one team that doesn't have a logo right now. That would be your undefeated Washington football team. 15 seconds left. It's not Washington. Leaves you with, what, 33 other ones? 31 other ones? 2, 1. We were looking for not the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. Unless you watch this back in time, and then you're right if you said San Diego, but that would have to be 3 or more years ago. Next question. One of the best baseball players playing right now. He's not on the team pictured, but what's this guy's name? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. MVP candidate right now. He's in the National League. I'll tell you, he plays for the Dodgers. Famously traded from the Red Sox, as you're looking at, to the Los Angeles Dodgers. What's this guy's name? 30 seconds left. I actually don't know his actual name, but his popular name he plays by. Extra points if you know it, but I don't, so I won't tell you. 18 seconds left. What's this guy's name? MVP candidate the last 2 years. Good at baseball. They are currently playing baseball. Lest we forget. And his arm is going through my torso. 6 seconds left. What's this guy's name? 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't bet on it if you didn't get it. It's Mookie Betts. Marcus, real name. Thank you, Doug. Marcus, real name. 100 points if you got that. Mookie Betts is what I was looking for. Next up to bat. What kind of bird is this? Oof. This is for my ornithologists out there. What kind of bird is this? 40 seconds left. The hint I'll give you is it is famously a talking bird. This bird can say human words if it's around humans. I'm now fully a floating head on this one. This is a good one. Kind of looks like the bird's just, I'm just going to lay like a worm. Screenshot this one. This is the thumbnail. 16 seconds left. What kind of bird is this? Very, very intelligent bird. Known for talkie, and it's not a parrot. Got so many hints today. 3, 2, 1. M-Y-N-A. It's a myna bird. That's what a myna bird. I've heard that. Oh, that's what they look like? Yep. Next. What is this musical instrument? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. What's this musical instrument next to me? Oh, now I'm not see-through again. This is good. I'll get in the black so I can see through. 38 seconds left. What is this musical instrument? It's been rotated to make it easier here, but would often sit upright. That's all I'll say. What is this brass instrument? Oh my god, I gave it away. Ugh. 15 seconds left. What is this instrument? You got this. Is it that thing? Is it the one I know? Maybe. 2, 1. Not a French horn. You might have been thinking it can't be that thing I'm thinking of because that's supposed to wrap around your body. That instrument's called a sousaphone. This instrument is called a tuba. Tuba's the answer. This is a tuba. That's what they look like. Ooh, I'm invisible again. You think you know it already. That's Niagara Falls. What's the name of that boat? 45 seconds. What's the name of the boat in that picture? I will tell you they are all, you don't need the Roman numeral. Every single one of those boats is named the same thing with a different Roman numeral at the end of it. So, you don't need the Roman numeral. I do need to know what that boat is called. 30 seconds left. Jim and Pam got married on it. Spoilers. Doug's sounding it out over here. He's maybe on the way. It's not. No, it's not. There's your 10-second hint. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let me hold my own head up. 2, 1. I'm having too much fun with the green screen. It's called the Maid of the Mist. All those boats are the Maids of the Mist, 1 through there's 20 of them now. Go to Niagara Falls. It seems cool. What country is this flag for? Not this one. This is Chicago. What's this one? 45 seconds starting now. What country is this? There's always a flag in my trivia. It's always annoying. 36 seconds. Mainly because you can always count on a flag to be a good-looking image. There's your little peek behind the curtain here at Trivia Ronin. 20 seconds left. What country's flag are we looking at? I promise you've heard of it. Well, can't promise you that. I don't know what you've heard of. Promise you should have heard of it. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. The middle symbolizes the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. However, Hinduism is their main religion. It's India. I also made up that thing about the middle. This is India's flag. Next. What article of clothing is this? You remember. 45 seconds. Go. I'm not talking about the belt. Tell me what this article of clothing is called. Yep. Doug laughed. Question. I agree, but everyone needs a gimme. You had these. You probably still have a pair. You're probably ashamed of it. Used to keep my cell phone in one of these pockets. Pretty cool. So convenient to have all that space. Now I wear skinny jeans. I bet I'll think I look stupid in 10 years when I'm wearing cargo shorts again. Oops, told you. 10, 9, 8. Who's watching? 3, 2. Cargo shorts. I said it. You already had it. So don't worry about it. It's cargo shorts, guys. That's 9. Question 10. Ooh, this is 9. I'm sorry. Who's this person? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. Who's this person? That's all. Excellent fur. Hopefully faux fur. But you never know. Or vintage. Vintage is okay. That animal's art. 23 seconds. Who are we looking at here? I don't need their birth name. But I do need the name we will know this person as. Who are we looking at? 10 seconds left. Who are you looking at? I know it's only Tuesday, but it sure feels like the weekend. We're looking for the weekend. That's what the weekend looks like. Cool. You saw that Adam Sandler movie. You would have seen him. What's the name of it? Nah, next week's trivia. Question number 10. This is officially the last one. Brian Fantana is putting on cologne in this. What's the name of that cologne? 45 seconds on the clock starting now. That's Paul Rudd as Brian Fantana. He's wearing a cologne that 60% of the time works every time. What's the name of it? What's the name of his cologne? If you look real close, it will help you. That's all I'll say. 25 seconds. Smells like a baby's diaper full of Indian food. What is the name of Brian Fantana's cologne? 10 seconds left. What is it? What is it? What is it? 5, 4, 3, 2. Brain cells assemble. Brian Fantana famously wears Sex Panther. Sex Panther cologne. Do we have Sex Panther over there? Sex Panther cologne, everybody. That's what we're looking for. That's 3 rounds. That's 30 possible points. I think maybe 31, 32. You tell me. You're in charge of scores. I'm just in charge of talking. But now is the time where we stand up and get properly acquainted and tell you a story. Da-da-da. That's when I come out of the green screen. Today's story. Gather round, children. Today I'm going to tell you a story about something considered to be a uniquely American form of entertainment. It's not actually that. Their origins can be traced to France, they can be traced to Victorian England, but no one disputes its impact on the American entertainment industry across the board. I'm going to start in the 1840s, however, for this story. In the 1840s, one of the major form of entertainment in America at the time was what's called minstrel shows. If you don't know what those are, please learn what those are. They are white folks would put shoe polish on their face or burn corks and wipe them on their faces to perform in what's called blackface, and then they would pretend to be slaves, usually happy-go-lucky, idiotic slaves who would run around getting into trouble, mischief, and mayhem to be laughed at on stage for the most part. This was the most popular form of entertainment at the time. Those were traveling shows that would go around the country. Alongside those, you would see Wild West shows as well, where folks would, do lassoing and rodeos and things of that nature and shooting guns. There were also medicine shows where snake oil salesmen and various other folks would perform with magical tonics and sell those to you. That was what's going on in the 1840s. But by the 1860s, the Civil War hits. Minstrel shows become way more popular in the South, surprise, and less popular in the North. However, the North is also rapidly urbanizing, so there's less of this need to go from small town to small town, and all of a sudden there's a desire to sit down in one place and start performing. So, this man named Tony Pastor, who's an ex-circus clown, who was on the road doing circus acts, he decides he's going to sit down in New York City, he's going to rent out a theater on the Bowery, and he's going to put on his own variety shows. And he starts making a mint. He's making all kinds of money. He moves uptown in New York to get a classier clientele. Uptown, by the way, at that time was 14th Street. So he moves up to 14th Street in Union Square. If you know New York now, that's ludicrous, but that was uptown back then. And he really wants to get some classy, like middle-class good folks in his theater rather than just the scum. So he says, we're going to ban any sort of body stuff and nasty things going on stage, and he keeps making money. So people see this model and they go, ding, 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 I'm in. Next person to do that, a guy named B.F. Keith. He starts a chain of theaters in Boston all the way up through Canada, where he's putting on his own variety shows. With him is a man named E.F. Albee, who was the adopted grandfather of a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright named Edward Albee, who wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, among other things. Those two run the Keith Albee theater chain, and they set up a regional booking system that essentially has each of these acts going city to city to city, and they can be, all of a sudden they're on contracts. Instead of all of them trying to make money, they get on contracts for months, if not years, to continue to perform. The thing is, well, I should talk about other theaters. There's another theater circuit around the same time called the Orpheum Theater. That extends from San Francisco all the way to Chicago, a bunch of Orpheum theaters. They build a famed Palace Theater in New York City that becomes the institution of this particular tradition. Meanwhile, there's a man named Alexander Pantages, who opens up theaters all along the West Coast, starting in Winnipeg, goes through Minneapolis. His chain ends up at Hollywood and Argyle Street. Many people think Hollywood and Vine. He opens a theater in 1930, still his namesake, still on the corner of Hollywood and Argyle. So that's there to this day. Now, all of these theaters or these performances would start in small towns and move to big theaters. Coining the first phrase we're going to talk about here, will it play in Peoria? Was always the question. Peoria had one of these little theaters, so often they would ask, well, all right, we can do that, but will it play in Peoria? Here's some other things that are left over from this tradition. One, rules super strict, like I said. Couldn't be bawdy on stage. So what, especially Albee and Keith, those two would send blue envelopes to their performers with suggested edits of their shows after they saw it for the first time. Suggested, not suggested, mandatory. They would tell you what to take out of your show, what was too naughty for their audiences. They showed up in blue envelopes. That is why, to this day, in the comedy community, the term blue refers to anything that might be a little too racy for the stage. That's blue humor. Also, same time, if you did betray these blue envelope rules, they would immediately take a list with everybody's name on it who are performers and cross you out in black ink, hence the origin of the term blacklisting. You would be blacklisted from performing on their stages. The way these shows worked, full variety shows. So performers got contracts depending on how well they were going. They would either get a small-time contract, literally, to play in small theaters for short periods of time, all the way up to the big time, or big-time contracts, which would be obviously your best running theaters New York or Los Angeles or San Francisco, any place where you'd make a whole bunch of money. So that was hitting the big time. There were musicians, there were singers. They would either be solo acts or they could be family acts, either a brother act or a sister act. Yes, that is a pun, the name of that movie. Blackface performers still there because of course they are. Alley-oops, that's where that term came from. Alley-oops were acrobats and magicians, especially one very famous magician who started in this, Harry Houdini, started in this theatrical tradition. As time went on, also there were just more and more scantily clad women. They just throw some ladies out there, see how it ended up. That usually sold more tickets because sex sells. This story's already long. So all I'm going to say to end this is that eventually movies came along, and that was the end of this theater tradition. However, this thing lasted from the 1860s until the 1930s. So the question is, what is the name of this American theatrical tradition? 45 seconds starting now. There's a name for this. What is it? Apologies for my one rogue mustache hair today. I'm going to spend the next 10 seconds doing this while you think. Hope it's helping. 30 seconds on the clock. What's the name of this theatrical tradition in the United States? It's pretty famous. You've probably heard of this. The origins of the term blue. The origins of blacklisting. Hitting the big time. Alley-oop. And also the origins of the stick that yanks people off stage. 3, 2, 1. Who's got it? I assume most of you. It's vaudeville. We used to call that the vaudeville circuit here in America. The vaudeville circuit. All right, tally up your scores, everybody. I assume it's a clean 47 from everybody. I got 60, so I'm the big winner. But otherwise, if you came in second, that's great. That's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for your support as we try to grow this experience. It is absolutely in the script I'm reading to say that, but it doesn't make it any less true. From all of us at Trivia Ronin, I'm Matt McNelly saying, don't be a shitty person, and we sure hope you learned something. Bye-bye!